Okay, we're live. 14th of July, 2023. We're in the heat of the summer season. We just came back from Italy. Amazing trip. If you've never been, highly recommend it. One of the most amazing countries in the world. And as soon as we arrived back, we got swamped, just swamped with business. We have a lot of new clients. Old clients have come back to us and are reignited in this market. And it's been a very, very busy period. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Roman, your number one online resource for buying property. I'm here with your real estate market update. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Mike. Hey, John. Hey, Mr. Bergs. And Jay, nice, very nice to have you join us here. Please remember, guys, if you like this video, I'd love for you to share it on social media. Just it helps us so much to get this message out. Just tap the share button to share it with your friends and family. To anyone watching on Instagram, be sure to head over to Facebook, where we put the links and the slides to the content I'm about to go over today. Remember, I really don't work off of opinion. I try to use the market data and data from California Association of Realtors, top economists to talk about exactly what's going on in the market. Let's get right into our content. We right now are in the middle of a number of transactions. The market is heated up again. It's on fire. We're seeing multiple properties, multiple offers on every single property. The lowest we've seen is a property in North Hollywood. We made an offer for a client on and only had 5 offers. Another property, which was a fixer, we made an offer on. We started asking questions about it. The agent said, you know what, don't even bother asking questions. We have 50 offers and we're well above list price. Another house in Cypress Hill that we were making an offer on, that was a comp for a property we were making an offer on, was listed in the 1.6s and sold for $2,005,000. So you could see it, the irrational exuberance, if you could put it, in the market is very high right now, and it's erasing all declines that we experienced in the second half of last year. Let's go right into our content, which all has to do specifically with the fact that we are on fire in the real estate market. Mortgage rates are still almost at an all-time high. Our mortgage rates are at and above where they were over a year ago. Over a year ago, we were at about 5.75. Right now, if they've come down from 7.25, they've come down. And I'll go over the mortgage rates in a little bit. But despite these high mortgage rates, which are hovering around 15-year highs, home prices are still going up. They've been going up for the last 5 months in a row, and a lot of them have edged the all-time highs that we had last year. And so last year, May 2022, Los Angeles Metro had an all-time high of 805,000. That has now come down to 765. So in April, it was 740. It's increased to 765. We're pretty much at an all-time high again. Sorry, let's clear this call. LA Metro, Southern California as a whole, all-time high last year in May of 845, dropped down to 785, and now it's up to 800. Okay. If you look at the California Association of Realtors data, our market's climbing. Okay. And so sales are still down significantly from a year ago, but they've increased. Our sales, these sales year-to-year percent changes were down 45% at times, and in different markets within a few months ago. Now sales have increased, but the issue is still the inventory. We don't have inventory. I'll go over that in just a second. Okay. Number of homes under contract in California rose by nearly 10% in May after dipping in April and March. So we're seeing a little bit of increased inventory, and we're seeing that there's a ton of buyers out there. So even the inventory that wasn't selling, that was overpriced, now the buyers out there, because of a lack of inventory, are even clearing that inventory, the overpriced inventory. And that's why we're seeing a lot of the overbids. We're seeing prices go well above, and there's still appraising though, surprisingly. Everyone that sells above is a new comp for the next one. All right. Regardless of where interest rates go in the short term or even long term, Oscar Way, the deputy chief economist with the California Association of Realtors. So this guy's watching the numbers in California across all regions of California, says the underlying reason home prices move higher in California comes down to simple supply and demand. We have more buyers than we have properties available in the market. It's tight supply, and the tight supply is really constraining, he says. People are not putting homes on the market. And of course, they're just not building fast enough. And California has the most regulation in the country. You want to build new construction here, you have to put solar on. For example, if it's over a certain square footage, you have to put fire sprinklers in there. It all increases cost significantly, which is a hindrance to building in California. Okay. Next article, same thing. It's about affordability and prices hitting all-time highs, nearly all-time highs. Black Knight, which monitors, they have a mortgage monitor. They're a mortgage market watchdog. The mortgage monitor for May, according to Black Knight, doesn't even hint at a housing crisis on the horizon. There's nothing out there that even looks close, like the market, like the real estate market can decline anywhere within the foreseeable future. Now, I never want to look further out than about 12 months because a lot of stuff can happen, and post-pandemic, you can understand a lot of X factors happen in this world. But for the next 12 months, there's nothing that indicates any type of decline whatsoever. Buyers are out there, and home prices reflect that fact. Okay. In addition, they say builders are getting back in the game. We are seeing more building permits. The builders' confidence level has increased. And so builders are out there, again, building new construction and new homes. And that's a big gauge because the builders have to be very comfortable in the market conditions, because whatever they're building now isn't going to come to market for a year to 2 to 3. So they have to feel very confident. They're confident in this market. Home prices, which eased late last year. The prices actually went down after the summer last year because rates continued to climb. So between the summer and, let's say, February, prices were slowly declining. Now they've risen for the past 5 straight months, completely reversing the earlier declines. While the year-over-year growth rate is hovering only at about 0.1%, because it went down, now it's going up. So we're still above where we were a year ago. Okay. But if you take into account the May increase, we're looking at annualized growth rate of 9%. Prices are increasing basically by 9% this year because they were declining up until about January, February. So if you take February through the next February, they're forecasting a 9% increase in prices. 27 of the 50 largest markets in the U.S. have returned to their previous price peaks or set new ones this spring. We're close. We're not there yet, but we can get there. We probably will get there later this year and set all-time highs. Even the West Coast, where some of the largest downward corrections happened last year, saw many of its markets reheat in May. San Jose was up 1.4%. LA rose 1% in 1 month. And Seattle gained 0.9%. Austin, Texas is a major exception to these price hikes. The deficit from its peak continues to grow, so it's still declining, that market. It got really hot. That market, Boise, Idaho, was a market that got hot that has not recovered. Some Colorado markets have not recovered, and they continue to reduce. But Austin, Texas is a major one. Their decline is down. They're down 13.8% as of May from their peak. Okay. So inventories continue to be the principal driving factor of home prices. For sale listings have deteriorated at 95% of major markets this year. I've mentioned this because people aren't moving, people aren't selling. And because more than 60% of existing mortgage holders throughout the country, it's even higher here in Southern California, more than 60% of them are sitting on first lien mortgages, that their first mortgages below 4%. So right now we're nearly at 7%, and I'll go through exactly where we are. If you're at below 4%, even if you're going downsizing, you're going to go from your home, which let's say is a 4-bedroom, to a 3-bedroom. Prices have increased and your rate is at 7%. You may actually increase in your monthly payment going from a larger home to a smaller home because of these interest rates today. So it's a big disincentive for listing in this high-priced, low inventory, high-rate environment. Okay, even though right now is a great time to buy, a great time to sell. It's a great time to sell, and to be honest with you, it's also a good time to buy because we have a saying in real estate: you date the mortgage, you marry the house. Marry the house, date the mortgage, because rates are still forecast to fall towards the end of the year or next year. So you want to find that home because prices, as you can see, are increasing with a forecast of 9% higher. That $1 million home will be $1,090,000 within a year. So it's still worthwhile to get in today and just refinance that rate down later on. Okay. All right. Let's get into our mortgage rate. So last time I gave this update about a month ago, the 30-year fixed was at 7.14%. It was over 7%. It was 7 1/8, higher than that. Today, that rate has come down to about 6.89. The 15-year fix was 6.54. It's now 6.3. The 30-year jumbo was 6.75. It is now increased to 6.89. The 5/1 arm was 6.95. It's roughly the same. FHA was 6.75. It's now 6.51. And the 30-year VA was 6.74. And now it is at 6.49, 6.5 actually. All right, our quote of the day. Thank you for sticking with us so long. As I give you the state of the market is where it's at today. The quote of the day is by Michael Hyatt. The most interesting things happen just on the other side of your comfort zone. So the world is not the most comfortable place these days. And you know what? We're learning to adapt, learning to adjust, and interesting things are happening as we do. Remember, if you like this video, help spread the word on social media. It helps me so much. Just tap the share button to share it with your friends and family. Everyone's involved in some kind of real estate on their mind, whether they're buying, they're selling, they're owning. They want to know where the market is. I gave you a really good snapshot as to where we are right now. This is Roman ShareShare, your #1 online resource for buying property. Thank you for sticking with us. Have a great weekend.